Hello, my YouTube peeps. I have a battle here against a lawyer viewer, Sharpedo43. And he's a really nice guy, but he always has had my number recently. He's actually destroyed me in a few battles. Yeah, let's see how this one goes. I challenged him a bit, late at night. I think last night, well, okay, a couple nights ago. By the time I'm posting this. And yeah, I'm gonna bring the good old Dustbuster. Maybe he can help give me some luck against Sharpedo43. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So he's going to lead with Cofagrigus, which is a very defensive Pokemon, obviously. And I'm going to go ahead and lead with Landorus, and this was not the matchup I wanted, because I really don't want to get burned, but at the same time, I really would like to get Stealth Rock set up right off the bat. So I do. And, yeah, if I have to take the burn for him, I'm like, alright, I can do that. Instead, he just goes for the knockoff, which really isn't going to do that much damage, because I am defensive Landorus, and, yeah, it's actually going to do some damage back to him with the knockoff, so, you know, well, with my Rocky Helmet before I lose it, so there you go. I'm going to go into my Sceptile now, which is the Mega I'm going to be bringing today, and it did just come out, and you might recall, Skep was using it last time. I want to try to use it, and yeah, unfortunately he's going to bring in Skarm on the same turn, so that was a nice double switch for him, probably predicted that, and yeah, I'm just going to go to my Meesprit, which, to be honest, has always been the left out of the Elf trio, or the Lake trio. Seems to be one that gets the least amount of love, as Elf is obviously really popular in Gen 4, and then you have Uxie, which has always been kind of hanging in there in UU due to its bulk. But Meesprit was always kind of in the middle, and I decided to bring a Specs one today, see if I can't get it to work. And I'm just going to go for that Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, he's going to go into Decidueye, which does resist, so obviously it's not going to be doing a whole lot, and I have to switch out. So I'm going to go into Toxapex. And, yeah, Toxapex is obviously Toxapex, and this is a Toxapex that I'm using for the first time here, and it's more of a standard Toxapex, unlike my physical attacking ones you might have seen pre-bank and in previous videos. So, obviously this one is going to be a little bit better, although I don't actually have a poison move. So I kind of bluffed it, although it's not like he can do a whole lot to me, and, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and set up my Toxic Spikes. So he's going to go out into Scarb, and you might have noticed he defogged there, so I don't have Stealth Rocks anymore, and he's going to go ahead and set up his own Stealth Rocks, and I'm like, fine, I'm just going to set up some other hazards then, you know, because the, you know, poison damage will rack up if I can get those set up on his Mons, and, you know, he's going to have to go in back to Decidueye to get rid of them, which means I'm going to get a nice poison on Decidueye, which is going to provide some nice residual damage. So, I switch into Landorus on the same turn, and, yeah, he's probably gonna defog, obviously, you know, to get rid of my Toxic Spikes, but at the same time, I don't remember what I do. I think I switch out, predicting something. Do I switch out this turn? Oh no, I think I do. Yeah, I think I go out into Magearna. Yes, that's what I do. I go into my Magearna. And, you might be wondering why I'm not U-turning. I do have U-turn on that Landorus. I'm kind of a, you know, just in case you wanted to go into his Skarm. Which does not appear to have leftovers and has the Rocky Helmet. That's why I am not using U-turn, because obviously I would be taking some damage for that if he did switch into it. But, thankfully enough, he does go to that defog, which means I can just shift gear now. That's going to raise my speed and also uselessly raise my attack. And, yeah, I'm going to try to go for my Z move, which is, I have the Steelium Z on my Magearna, being boosted by Flash Cannon. Magearna already has a monster special attack set, but the main idea of this set is you just need to kill one thing, and that's why you want to use the Z move. So after you get the speed boost, you just need to kill one thing to get off Soul Heart, which raises your special attack. So, yeah, I'm just trying to do that. Unfortunately, he probably saw the Z move coming. It's kind of standard whether you use the Farium Z or the Steelium Z. It's kind of standard on Magearna. He's going to go into his Cofagrigus, which seems to be EV'd, especially defensively. He still doesn't take it that well, and I'm kind of confident I might be able to 2-hit KO here. He doesn't protect those, so he's going to be able to get some leftovers recovery. And like I said, all I really need is one KO. Just one KO. Unfortunately, yeah, he's going to be able to heal a little more with his Cofagrigus, but I'm still kind of confident maybe a Flash Cannon can 2-hit KO this thing. He's going to switch, though. It's a very good play. He's just going into Decidueye now, and, yeah, I just keep going for the Flash Cannon. He's hoping, I think, when he's going in here, that I would hit him down far enough that he would die to the poison and therefore deprive me of the boost from Soul Heart, I think, Soul Heart. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't quite die, so now he's in an awkward position, and he makes another good play going to Volcanic. Yeah, you know, this was a bad play. I should have went for the Thunderbolt on the switch, knowing that he's probably going to switch out again, but instead I just go for the Flash Cannon. You know, Thunderbolt probably would have killed the Decidueye anyway. So that wasn't great, and now I am pretty much forced to switch, because even though I do have Thunderbolt, I'm not confident that I can kill it, because it's nearly full health, so I'm just, whatever. I'm just going to cut my losses, maybe try to set it up again later, go into my Toxapex. I really don't want to lose Magearna, so, yeah, obviously he's not going to be able to do a whole lot with Fire Blast, so I guess I decided to set up the Toxic Spikes again. You know, if his Decidueye is nearly dead, so it's pretty much a good time to set up Hazards. I think that's probably the only way he has. Unless he carries Defog on his Skarmory as well, it's probably his only way to get rid of him. So, yeah, I'm just going to go out into my Magearna again, knowing that he can't really knock off my Z-Stone. So, yeah, it's obviously really doesn't have anything to do to me. And, yeah, I decided to go right for the Thunderbolt, predicting a switch. I really probably should have just set up my, you know, speed buff again. But I just go for the Thunderbolt, thinking that he would switch out, but he clearly doesn't. And now he is going to switch out in Tapu Koko. And I believe this is the turn I decide to shift gear again. And I'm like, okay, Tapu Koko is really fast, but after shift gear, I should be able to outspeed most things. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to, you know, just take this thing out. He is poisoned, so that's going to be some damage. And you know what, let's see. He Volt switches first, though, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe he can just naturally outspeed me, because Tapu Koko is super fast. But at the same time, I'm not, you know, that thing could be Scarfed. I really didn't run the speed check, but I don't know if he would have outsped either way. But as we find out later, that thing is indeed Scarf Koko, which is a very interesting Pokemon. It allows you to outspeed a lot of other Scarfers, and, yeah, it's obviously, it's basically 2 outspeed other Scarfers, because Tapu Koko doesn't need any help outspeeding other things, pretty much any non-Scarfer. So he's going to go back into Tapu Koko now, and I already know I can't outspeed it, but I pretty much just let Magearna die. It's at the point that it's really low HP, so it's probably not going to get a chance to set up again, so kind of sucks, but, you know, it did a lot of actually damage to his team, so I'm alright with it. So Dustbuster finally comes in here against Volcanion, and now we know that it is Choice Specs, and he's going to go out into his Sharpedo, sorry, why do I keep saying the wrong Pokemon name? Skarmory now, and yeah, it's a good play, obviously. He's just gonna hurt me with my Rocky Helmet, and I really don't do anything with Return. So that sucks. Gonna go ahead and switch out into Landorus, though. It's gonna get the Intimidate off on this Skarmory, and yeah, I really just want to set up Stealth Rocks again, and so does he, so he's gonna Roost first, which is a wise play, trying to just keep his Skarmory healthy, and now we're pretty much gonna straight Stealth Rocks. I don't really have a way to get rid of Hazards, and his Decidueye is gone, so yeah, it's just pretty much anything that gets set up is free. So I do have the entry hazard advantage here. We both have Stealth Rocks up, and I obviously have my Toxic Spikes too to add additional residual damage. And here, I don't even know what I was thinking. I just go for the Hidden Power Ice. And I probably was doing that to see what he would do. I wanted to see if he would go for a Brave Bird or Switch Out or something. Really should have just went for the U-turn. I have no idea why. Well, you know, I know why I didn't, because I didn't want to U-turn and take the Rocky Helmet damage. So I do just switch out, not U-turn. I go into Toxapex. And, yeah, Toxapex should be able to take pretty much anything this guy does, but he does decide to go for the Whirlwind, which is a good play. He's going to get some additional damage on me and get into a Pokemon I might not want to be into. Although, I really don't mind being into this Mini-Sprit at all, because I do have Thunderbolt. So, that's what I'm going to do. He goes into Cofagrigus again, but this thing is getting to the point that it's so weak that my Choice Specs Mii-Sprit should be able to just take it out with whatever, and I go for the Ice. I don't even know why I went for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam really doesn't hit any of his Pokemon that hard. I think I just wanted to be unpredictable, but I really should have just went for the Thunderbolt, because aside from his Tapu Koko, which maybe that's what I was predicting. Maybe I was predicting Tapu Koko to come in and take the electric move. I don't know. But now I am locked into Ice Beam, so he can go into his Sharpedo. And his namesake Pokemon, it seems to be the Pokemon, the Mega he always brings. But I do actually have an out for it this time, and I made sure I carried it out. I made sure to bring Toxapex, which is a Pokemon that should be able to, counter this thing pretty hard. Even if it has the Psychic Fangs, my physical defense should be enough to be able to not die so hard to it. So he's going to get the Speed Boost, and he doesn't want to stay in. I don't think he even has Psychic Fangs, so he didn't even try to go for it in this battle, so that's good for me. He's going to go to Volcanion, and Volcanion is a Pokemon that's weak to Stealth Rock, so I'm going to be getting some nice 25% damage on switch in, and after the poison, he can only switch in one more time, so that's pretty amazing. And I'm just going to go into my Landorus, and I do that kind of because I was predicting the Earth Power, and kind of because I just wanted to see what he would lock himself into, because pretty much Volcanian's, especially Specs Volcanian, just hits everything so hard if I get the prediction wrong, and I figured that Landorus is probably the Pokemon that I can afford to lose, but it ends up working out because he does go for the Earth Power, and yeah, that's fine, and he's just going to Skarmory now, and I believe I go for the U-turn this time, which, as you're going to see, there's justifying my reason for avoiding it. Yeah, he does have the Rocky Helmet, and yeah, that's obviously going to do more damage to me than it does to him, because the X4 resists U-turn. Though it still gives me the switch advantage, and I'm going to go back into Mesprit, and I believe I go for the T-Bolt this time, as he goes back into Volcanion, and that's fine, because Volcanion is nearly dead. So I really could have used anything there, and it would have worked out, but at least Thunderbolt doesn't allow Sharpedo to come in without fear, although he's just going to come in without fear now, because he knows he can just protect and then Mega Evolve, so yeah, I'm just going to go back into I go into Landorus here. I didn't go straight into my Toxic, just in case he does have the Psychic Fang, so I decided to get the Intimidate off first. So, again, now he's just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. Does he even get a Speed Boost? I wonder if he even got a Speed Boost there. I think he just goes straight for the Mega Evolution and goes for the Crunch. So, that was interesting, and Landorus is going to go down, but at -1 attack, this Sharpedo is not nearly as scary as it could be. I figure it's a good time to go out into my Sceptile again, or actually for the first time, right? Yeah, for the first time, and get off a Substitute. So I am running a Mega Sceptile that a specially, a specially attacking set, but I also carry Substitute, which the idea of this Sharpedo is you typically want to try to get it in on an electric move to make use of Lightning Rod. But Substitute is also going to allow me to get a couple of extra attacks in. So he's going to go into Scarm. I have Focus Blast, which should be able to hit this thing really hard. And then I miss, because it's Focus Miss. And he's going to get all of his HP back. I'm like, whatever, I still still have this at least. Maybe I can hit with this one and maybe 2 KO it. Nope! Gonna miss 2 Focus Blasts in a row right there. And he's just going to go ahead and break my sub. So I guess I should have predicted the miss. Because it's Focus Miss, and let's face it, it always misses. But I didn't, and gonna go ahead and switch out. Thanks, Sceptile, we're gonna get you some glasses, friend. Anyway, Toxapac's gonna come out, because, like I said, Toxapac should be able to pretty much take all this. But he's gonna double switch, predicting my Toxapac switch in, and he goes into Tapu Koko, which is the Pokemon he has that can definitely threaten my Toxapacs. And, yeah, not really a whole lot to say about that. I really don't want to lose Toxapacs to this thing. And I don't have Baneful Bunker in this one, so it's not like I can even scout what move he's going to use, so I'm just going to go into Dustbuster. I'm like, alright, Dustbuster, I bet you're cute enough to live a move, and let's just frisk you just to make sure. Yes, you do have a Choice Scarf, good to know. And, yeah, there's Dazzling Gleam, and Dustbuster lives, because Dustbuster's the cutest, and that's pretty much all you have to say about that, and I'm just gonna switch out. I think we both switch out. He goes into Skarmory here. Or wait, no, do I switch out? Yeah, I do switch out. I wasn't going to go for the U-turn and die to the Skarmory. I decided to switch out directly, instead of U-turning, into my Toxapex. And, it ends up being the switch I wanted, too. And, pretty ballsy switch, too. Switching a Toxapex into a Tapu Koko. But I really want to try to get another Scald on this thing. Obviously, this Skarmory is the only thing he has left on his team that doesn't have a status move, isn't poisoned. So it'd be nice to kind of get the bird on it for the residual damage, not to mention the reduction of damage that he can do to me with Brave Bird. So, yeah, he's going to get the bird on him, and that's nice. And I go for Toxic Spikes here for some reason. I don't know if I lost track of his Pokemon, but all of his Pokemon are status. There's really no reason for me to do that. But, I did, and he's just going to roar me out into Dustbuster, and unfortunately, those stones are too much for the cute little Dustbuster, and it goes down. But, Dustbuster, you did your part, my friend, and now I can get pretty much any switch I want, and I do want this Mesprit to come in. His team is getting really, really low, and I can pretty much Thunderbolt without fear at this point, so that's what I do. And, yeah, he's pretty much doesn't have much to do. I mean, not even his Tapu Koko at this point could take a Thunderbolt very well. Although, wait, is Tapu Koko dead? No, I don't think it is. But, not even that could take it very well. He goes into Sharpedo instead, which should be able to outspeed my Mesprit even without a speed boost, so I'm going to go into my Toxapex, though, because, like I said, I figured Toxapex is pretty much a easy switch in against this Sharpedo. He ends up doing a lot more than I thought with Crunch, though. It just shows you the overwhelming power of Sharpedo due to his ability. Not to mention the stab on that Crunch. It's just a ridiculously powerful Mon, and unfortunately, though, for him, that's still not quite enough to get the 2-hit KO, probably. So he's just going to go into Coco, as I'm able to heal it all back with Recover, so I'm just going to make sure I keep Toxapex nice and healthy, although he does have another switch in it here in Tapu Koko. But this Tapu Koko is being worn down. The Poison is wearing it down, the Stealth Rocks are wearing it down. This Tapu Koko is not going to be around very much longer, and once that goes down, the Sharpedo should be easily dealt with. So I'm going to go back into Meesprit. I pretty much need to sack something, and Meesprit is the thing to sack. It really can't stand up against either of his Pokemon at this point. So, yeah, he just goes for the Thunderbolt, and that's going to take down my Meesprit, but another tick of damage there for Tapu Koko, and now I know what he's locked into. Just going to go to my Sceptile. I have Lightning Rod. He has to switch, and confusingly, he does not, which is pretty much game over then, because I have Lightning Rod, and I know that he's locked into Thunderbolt, and I'm just going to go for the sub, because there's no reason not to. I know he can't switch to Dazzling Gleam. I already saw his item, because Dustbuster is so cute and epic, and told him he has games, and yeah, he's just going to go for Thunderbolt again for some reason. If he would have switched out into Sharpedo that turn, I still would have had the sub and probably would have been able to kill it, so, I mean, I guess he could have switched back into Tapu Koko and then Dazzling Gleamed, but, yeah, I'd pretty much have this game in the bag at that point, due to the fact that he was locked into Electric move. So, yeah, he's just going to go into Sharpedo again. He protects for some reason. It's really not, I mean, I'm just going for the Dragon Pulse, but really no reason to protect. In fact, he's going to die even if he does get the second protect in a row there due to his poison. So, good game there, Sharpedo43. Feels good to actually win one against you, but this guy has had my number. He's an excellent battler and a really awesome guy, so thanks for the match, and we're going to have to do another one real soon. Today's question of the day is pretty simple. What is your favorite video game of all time? Now, I've asked similar questions before, and I probably asked this one before a while ago, but basically, favorite video game, it's a pretty straightforward and simple question, and as for me, it's probably still Chrono Trigger, although a lot of games have come close since then. I really loved Undertale, and of course Pokemon, always, especially Pokemon Gold and Silver when I was a kid, will always have a special place in my heart. But, yeah, leave a comment about that. Doesn't have to be a Pokemon game. Can be literally anything, but I expect at least some of you to have Pokemon as your favorite game. So leave a comment about that, and thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Later.